Nnamdi Kanu is not an issue that we should just sweep under the carpet. It's not an issue that will be happening live. A major prophet will keep quiet, irrespective of every restriction. Major prophet cannot be restricted because major prophet, and coming from the spiritual angle, you cannot restrict the spirit. The spirit is beyond the human control. That no human being, no man born of a woman has what it takes to stop the spirit from speaking, or the spirit from giving message, or the spirit from what's called operations. You cannot stop it. Even if you use the highest spiritual means on planet Earth, you cannot stop the spiritual means of operations. Spiritual will always be spiritual, and physical will be physical. So, major prophet, by the grace of God, I understand what's called the hand of the clock. Because when the hand of the clock is clocking tinkle, major prophet will use what's called a prophetic microscopic view to look at what's called the handwriting on the wall. And the major prophet has seen it all and what is about to happen there. Because the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to cause Nigeria a big problem. Don't forget that major prophet, I've given the prophecy before now. And when I begin to give prophecy, I begin to make them follow them bit by bit as they are coming and they are unfolding. Because what I'm seeing that's going to play out sooner is going to be what's called a chaos. And this chaos is going to cause what's called anarchy. And this anarchy is what's going to cause what's called people who are in the position to jitter. And if care is not taken, I'm seeing them fleeing away. Because Nigeria as a people have been waiting for a day. I told you, when people are pushed to the wall, people will have no choice but to react, because there's nobody you can push to the wall. Even the weakest person, when it's pushed to the wall, it will shout the highest shout at the wall side. And when the person is shouting at the wall side, you'll know that this person has been pushed to the wall. So major prophet, I'm using what's called a spiritual microscopic view to look at what's called the state of the matter right away. Because what I am seeing that's going to happen right there with the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be what's called, it's going to create what's called chaos. And this chaos will lead to what's called anarchy. This anarchy will lead to what's called people will jitter, and people will even flee away. When a prophet is speaking, the purpose of a prophet to prophesy is to the people who do not oppose themselves, or people who want to do the right thing. They start adjusting things and do the right thing for everywhere, for peace to reign. Because the peace of the nation is our own peace. When the nation is in head-tasketa, or nation is in chaos, or nation is running here and there, or in anarchy, it does not give anybody relaxation. Everybody is trouble. Because the issue of what's called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what's going on there in the court case, and what's called the case of this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is going to come to a point to create what's called chaos. And not only chaos, this was called state of anarchy. And people will be like, oh, what is the meaning of this? And time to sit will not be available. Time to now readjust and do one or two things will not be available, because this matter is what's called matter, and what's called matters arising. And as things are proceeding, and also in the physical realm, things are happening in the physical, we are also being very, very much around to look at the spiritual angle to see all of the things that is going to unfold. Because I'm seeing what's called delegates that is going to come from all over the world, United Nations, America, EU, and other countries of the world. And these delegates are coming specifically to be sure of what they are hearing. So this will not be an issue of news. They want to observe, and they want to see things by themselves. And this is what is going to bring what's called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to now come to a point that all of the things that I have said, all of them come to pass one by one. That said, in your own court, it will defeat you. Save major prophet the shame, save the people of the country the shame, and resolve matter with what's called resolve matter with what's called diplomacy. Resolve matter what's called ideas. Resolve matter. If you lack the idea, the Bible says, if anybody lack wisdom, let him ask for wisdom. If anybody lacks understanding, let him ask for understanding. If anybody lacks what's called a clue, let the person ask for clue. What shall be done? And people that are called people analyze and put on the table what's called the diplomatic and the solution to issues, because the issue of what's called the people of Biafra and the people of Nigeria is beyond what's called a diplomatic resolve. So if there's a matter that needs to be resolved right now, there's what called higher wisdom and higher understanding, and people who are broadened in their mind to now begin to now look into matters and settle things the way they ought to settle. Because this matter has come to that point, I said, that this case is going to bring shame, and the shame is already set to happen, because secrets are going to open and the people will be on the run, and the many things are going to happen. Because major prophet, when I give you prophecy, I give you years before they begin to happen. I give you prophecies months before they begin to happen. I give you prophecies weeks before they begin to happen. I give you prophecies days before they begin to happen. As the Lord has opened the eyes of the major prophet, which is the eyes of the Lord. Because the eye of the prophet is the eyes of the Lord. I'm not talking about bracadabra. I'm not talking about people who try to now say what they are not. I'm not talking about people who claim what they are not. I'm talking about preciseness. I'm talking about accuracy. I'm talking about the Spirit of the living God. I'm talking about the manifestation of the Holy Spirit of God in the life of his servant, the major prophet of God. What you see happening today, I have prophesied it some months ago, and I told you I'm seeing people of Biafra and also what's called protest that is going to resolve into. Nobody has talked about protest when I prophesied it. Nobody has talked about coming out when I prophesied it. And some weeks ago, I talked about Sowore to lead something. And finally, you have seen it played out. What else are we looking for before we know that God is speaking? What else are we looking for before we know that God has given us all of the clues so that we can do the right thing that needed to be done? Because this issue will affect 2027 election, will be affected. The election of Anambra State will be affected. Major prophet is giving you accurate prophecy. What will it cause? What cause issue and what will affect elections in Nigeria is what major prophet is given to you. Because I am not a prophet of sidedness or a prophet of what's called, you say this prophet is after only this people or after that people. I am very much neutral to be able to stand in the gap of prophecy to release things the way they are in the realms of the spirit, that the world may know that we are talking about what's called spiritual matters. Because spiritual matter is very important and is beyond human comprehension. There's a level human understanding can go, and there's a level the spirit itself will be the one to play out the role. Because we are talking about spiritual roles, and when we come to spiritual role, God has given major prophet of God the grace to now begin to now prophesy things the way they are. Whether we like it or not, things are going to unfold the way that will surprise everybody. Things will unfold and people will ask you questions. What is happening? What is the reason of this? And the care is not taken. I am seeing people fleeing away. Many politicians are going to be indicted. Many high-profile individuals are going to be exposed. Many secrets are going to open. Things that you never heard about this country are going to be exposed. Because a major prophet has seen it years and have given the prophecy, and it's now in our korokoro eye. When I told you Sowore will lead something, Sowore never even thought in his mind to come and protest. But I told you that this issue is going to resolve into protest. You were like, oh, how can it be? People of Biafra, they don't have time for protest. Who told you so? Things are going to get out of hand. When I gave prophecy in the year 2019, and I gave prophecy, I said they should pray. In the crossover of 2020, I gave prophecy they should pray. Nigeria should pray because of what's called a protest that will hit Nigeria and hit all the geopolitical zone. I gave the prophecy right on this very altar. And I told you that that prophecy is going to be happening in different states. That the protest is going to be happening in different states. And it is going to happen towards the month of October and November. I gave you about NSAS protest. Many of you took it for granted when it happened. The people were shouting everywhere. Major prophet, what you say is happening. So major prophet is bringing the news. This news is called the spiritual news, bringing what's called the prophecy from the spiritual world, that people who need to listen to what the Spirit is saying should please pay attention. The Bible says, pay attention, he that has ear. The book of Revelation, chapter 6. He that has ear, let him listen to what the Spirit is saying. If you have ear, listen to what the Spirit is saying. If you don't have ear, that is your own concern. But your cup of tea is that you must have ear. If you lack ear to hear what the Spirit is saying, it becomes a very big issue. May we not allow ourselves to drag ourselves to the mud, because dragging yourselves to the mud will result into what's called regret. I will not regret. Oh, I don't want shame. I don't want shame. May the Lord deliver us from all shame, because the shame is already produced and already cooked, and this shame is already in a very high place. It's a very high shame in a very high place. This is not what God wished for us, but we must be careful what we are doing with our hands, because what we do with our hands will go a long way to determine all of the things that we are going to see. Whatever you do with your hands, you are the one to pay for it. May we not drag ourselves to shame. Oh my God. Because when I look at this matter is not going to end easily like that. It will end with what's called disgrace and shame. And this very disgrace and shame is not the will of God. Disgrace and shame is not the will of God. But people who do not understand how things work in the spiritual world are making it to be so, making it to be shameful. I will not be part of that shame. May the Lord have mercy. May the Lord have mercy. May the Lord have mercy. The Lord have mercy. Because I am seeing this is what's called all of the people who are under custody, especially people arrested. People that are arrested, or Moyole, Sowore, and all of the people that are already arrested. I'm seeing all of them and their cases becoming an issue. Nigeria will end up paying them too. They will pay people. They will pay compensation. They will pay compensation if they don't listen to major prophet to let go and solve this matter. Solve this matter. I'm a prophet. The benefit of a prophet is to tell you the future. The benefit of a prophet is that when things go wrong in the land of Israel, when things go wrong, they said, is there no prophet in the land that we should inquire of him? What's going to be? And they went ahead and they brought Elisha. They said, Elijah is not there. Elisha is the one that poured water on the cup, that poured water in the hand of Elijah. Elisha should tell them. And Elisha prophesied things the way they are going to be. Elisha tell the king when the enemy is coming and where the enemy is coming from. And Elisha will tell them what to do and what not to do. And at the end of it all, the king will adhere to the voice of the prophet. But greater than Elisha is here. Greater than Elijah is here. Greater than all the prophets of old that were used to help the government to do the right thing. Greater than them all is here. And somebody will be like, how can you say that you are greater than them all? Elijah, Elisha were operating when the Spirit comes on them and goes. But in my generation, Jesus has come and manifest. That which was told in parables and in riddles has been made open and made practical to me. And the Spirit that operates in their own time comes and goes. But right now, I am the carrier of the heaven and earth. I am the carrier of the Almighty. And the Almighty dwelleth in me. I don't need any consultation. I don't need to go for any fasting anywhere before the Spirit of God in my life will speak. My God has developed me to a point that I am the Spirit. Does not need, I need to do dry fasting. I need to climb the mountain. I need to fortify myself. I need to do this and do that before the Spirit will speak. No. The Spirit maketh intercession. The Spirit speaketh. The Spirit is speaking expressly. The Spirit is always voicing out. The voice of the Lord is upon many waters. And as God is speaking, his servant, the major prophet, heareth what the Lord says. Because when God is speaking, it is only those who are spiritually deaf that will not hear what the Spirit is saying. But major prophet, I am not spiritually deaf. My ears are open. And my eyes is widely open, and my spiritual mind of understanding has been sharpened and broadened up. that when the Spirit opens up, whatever the Spirit shows the major prophet, I don't need any other interpretation but to say it out the way the Lord has shown it to major prophet. So, solution. Because prophecy without solution is a problem. When you have prophecy and you don't have solution, that's what's called unmature. That's what's called prophecy without solution. And I tell you, solution is in our hands. Nigerian government should embrace solution that God has given to them. And you ask the major prophet, what is the solution? The solution is Nigerian government, let peace reign. Stop politicking with people. Do the right thing for the sake of your country. Arise right now and take a decisive decision. Decision that betters your life. Not the decision they say, oh, Major, if Nnamdi Kanu comes out now, oh, the Southeast will follow him. They will not listen to anybody. He can tell them not to do election, and everybody will listen to him. He can tell them this and that, keep him there until after election 2027. Then we can talk about that. Listen to me. Those things are mirage. Those things are fallacy. Those things are stories. Those things are political brouhaha. You better do the right thing for the interest of everybody, for the interest of you, and also for your better future, for the country that you are leading. You better take right step. Release Master Nnamdi Kanu to go, and release all of the detainees, and tell them that, oh, this is what we want, this is our red line, and go ahead with your activities, but don't cross our red line. And you put it there. Everybody knows their boundaries. Everybody must control to their boundaries. And you go ahead and tell them, oh, what you want. And they tell you, you have a round table discussion, and you discuss this matter, and you settle this matter once and for all. And whatever is the issue that has brought agitation can actually be addressed. And what are they agitating for? What they are agitating for are things that are very easy to resolve. People want to govern themselves. People want to take care of their resources. People want to have what's called a true federalism. People want to have what's called their own country. People want to be on their own. People want to what's called to be what's called self-determined and what they call it. So whatever people want, you go ahead and discuss it with the people, so that at the end of it all, everybody will have peace. The noise is too much. The gragra is too much. The shame is too much. And all of the drag up and down is too much. May the Lord not give us up to our enemies.